Good morning, class. We're coming to the week where we end up a new social studies chapter. We're on chapter 3, and it was all about the people that moved. Last week, each day we took one group of people. The Native Americans were first, then the Spanish settlers, then we had some Europeans came, then the African Americans, and then finally the Asians. Those were the 5 different groups that we talked about and the different things that they brought. Here's some pictures of it, talking about those. You can review that page on your own. I'd like to read to you page 51 today. Remember, if you'd like to find your book, you need to turn it to the Clever and go to TCI, and then chapter 3, the people of the United States. Lesson summary. Sooner or later, you will hear someone describe the United States nation as a nation of immigrants. It's true. We all came to this land from other place. Some made their journey thousands of years ago. Others just arrived yesterday. Each group, which I don't know if you know this, but new people come to the United States every day. Each group came for its own reason. Ancestors of American Indians may have followed the animals they hunted to the new land. The Spanish were looking for a route to Asia. The English came seeking freedom and opportunity. Other Europeans were fleeing from war or hungry. The first Africans were brought to America against their will. Asians originally crossed the ocean to find gold and work. Immigrants are still traveling to America. Most of these new immigrants came from countries in Latin America and Asia, but people also come from many other parts of the world. The contributions of each group of people have changed and strengthened the United States. Without any one group and its contributions, the United States would not be as richly variety as it is today. So that was a good review. Now we want to talk about why in the world would people come to Wisconsin, settling in your state. You just read about the diverse background of the people of the United States. Your state is probably diverse. Some people may have recently arrived from other countries. Others may have lived there all their lives, but their grandparents or great-grandparents arrived from another part of the world. So why do people live in your state? People from other parts of the world bring their culture with them. Does your state have restaurants that serve Chinese or Indian or Mexican food? Those recipes came from other countries. Different cultures affect other parts of your state too. For instance, if you live in Colorado, the name of your state came from Spain. Spanish explorers saw red rocks by the river and named the river the Colorado, which means the color red. People moved to the States for many different reasons at different times in history. For example, in the mid-1800s, Colorado attracted thousands of gold seekers after gold and silver was discovered. Today, people come for their jobs in oil and gas production or to live by the Rocky Mountains. Do research to find out why people have moved to your state. Start by writing questions such as, did people come for certain kinds of jobs? Is the scenery or climate a big attraction? And make a list of questions that you'd like to answer. Many people settled in Colorado during the mid-1800s once gold and silver was discovered. This is just one of many reasons people settled in the state. And so you can see this. They have water running there, and then they take some of the soil and they put it with the water and they wash the dirt away to see if they can find any gold. And they can pan for gold for weeks and months and never find any gold, but then all of a sudden they find a gold nugget. They're rich. And so a lot of people went there to get rich quick. This last one about questions will help us with our assignment, so remember this, we'll come back to it. Move here. There are many places to find the answers to your questions. You can interview a neighbor or a family member, or you can go to the library and read diaries about people who moved there. Remember that these sources will give you just one person's point of view. For another point of view, you can look on the website about your state in history books. Take notes like the ones shown here. Now prepare a sales pitch to encourage someone to move to your state. Construct an argument that gives reasons why your state is a great place to live. Start with the question, why should you move to my state? Write strong statements to persuade people. Do research for facts that will support your statements. For example, if people move there for jobs in a certain field, find out how many people got their jobs in that field last year. If mild weather is important, list the average number of sunny days or the average temperature for each season. If your state is full fun things to do, find exciting photographs to share. These are all the ways that you can back up your argument with supporting evidence. Make a poster that will help you make your point. Present your sales pitch to your classmates. Once you have found answers to your questions, prepare a sales pitch, including about why people moved your state. So here's their example of Colorado. Our assignment today is page 5 and 6 in your packet. It says Monday on it. I've changed and modified it a little bit so I can help you with it. Go ahead and put your name at the top of the paper. First, we want to make a list of questions about the people settled in our state, and then you're supposed to watch my video because I'm going to tell you the answers to those, as we can't go to the library together. All right, question number 1. Did people come to our state for certain jobs? Will people come to our state for certain jobs? And the answer is yes, of course, but we want to back that up. Does anybody know what a lot of people do in our state? What is Wisconsin known for? Well, one, we're actually called the dairy state. We have lots of jobs in farming. We actually produce more cheese than any other state. Now, to make cheese, you need tons and tons of milk. And so we have dairy farms that have lots of cows, and lots of people have jobs taking care of and milking cows. And then we don't use that milk, the majority of it, for milk. We actually use the majority of the milk for cows to make cheese. And not just simple cheeses. We make all sorts of really interesting and delicious types of cheese. Last year when we did this assignment, I'm sorry you can't be here, but I brought in cheese that was Swiss, but it was made with bacon. Bacon Swiss cheese. Sounds like a delicious sandwich to me. It had little itty bitty pieces of bacon in it. I also brought in some cheese that had blueberries in it. Now there's some really super strange cheeses. The cheeses that I love the best are just the Colby Jack, where you got a little white and a little yellow mixed together. But our state makes some amazing kinds of cheese. And the next time you go to the store, you should ask your parents if they would let you sample a small little one of a unique cheese. Now, usually the unique cheeses are a little bit more expensive, so if your parents say no, I can understand that. But otherwise, if you get a chance, try some of these unique cheeses and see how cool it is that our state makes more cheese than any other state. All right, what other kind of jobs do we have besides farming? I don't know if you know this because we live in the South, but up north we have lots and lots of people who are in the business of cutting down trees. It's called forestry. We have lots of jobs in forestry. This is planting trees, cutting trees, hauling trees. Now, a lot of our trees up north are actually made into paper. And so you have to have big machineries and big businesses up north that can cut these trees down, haul these trees on big huge trucks and take them to the mills where they chop them up into itsy tiny fibers, and then they put them together to make paper. So we have a lot of jobs in forestry. Okay? We also have a lot of jobs in the city in big business. And so I'll put down big business jobs. These are the people that will work in tall skyscraping buildings, and they'll have a lot of work on their computer screens, dealing with people's money, or a lot of work at what you would call the office. Okay? We see a lot of that here in Milwaukee. All right, question number 2. Now they say, is there any certain kind of scenery or climate? And let's just put down, what is our climate? And the answer to that one is, our climate is varied. We have cold winters and hot summers. Now, why is this important? Well, We have a lot of lakes. To stay cool in the summer. People go to lakes to kayak or to swim or to lay out on the beach or to take a boat out if they own a boat or to rent a boat. A lot of people here in Milwaukee will rent boats on the river, and they'll take the boat up the river or out on the Lake Michigan. So they have a lot of time. And what about in the winter? We actually have a lot of trails. For winter sports. Now, not very many here in the city of Milwaukee, but if you get outside the city of Milwaukee, we actually have a ton of four-wheeler trails all over our state. We also have unbelievable snowmobile trails up north. So if you like the cold weather and you own a snowmobile, you can go up north and drive your snowmobile. Some people take their snowmobiles and they go up the cottages or cabins up north, and they'll spend a lot of time in the woods on their snowmobiles. A lot of people like to ice fish as well in our lakes. So we have a lot of things that people can do both in the summer and in the winter. Question 3. Okay, any major tourist spots? Why would you come visit? I don't know if you guys know this, but we actually are the water park capital of the world. I think you know what I'm talking about. We have Wisconsin Dells. There are more water parks and water slides in Wisconsin Dells than any place else in the entire world, or at least that's what they say. Maybe you've been to Wisconsin Dells, to one of these water parks. Maybe you've gone to Noah's Ark. Maybe you've gone to the place where they have the ski show. For many, many years, I never was there, and last year we had a teachers' conference there, and we actually got to see the Tommy Bartles ski show, and it was crazy, amazing, awesome. And so we have Wisconsin Dells. I don't know if you guys have ever been here, but we also have Devil's Lake. That is a big tourist spot. Devil's Lake. You can hike there as well as swim there and enjoy outdoor beautiful recreation there. We already mentioned the lakes that we have in Wisconsin. We also have cool things here in Milwaukee. And I think Milwaukee County Zoo is pretty special. Okay, so the list can go on and on. I think we have enough to be able to do our assignment. If you flip it over, here's your assignment. Now comes the sales pitch. Why should people come to my state? Maybe you want them to come because we have great jobs. Maybe you want them to come because we have a great climate, both hot in the summer and cold in the winter. Maybe you want them to come because, well, we have Wisconsin Dells and other tourist attractions. Maybe you want them to come because the people of Wisconsin have amazing, amazing, amazing cheese for them to eat. All right, you pick 4 things. It can be things that we talked about, or it can be things that you think other than that for Wisconsin. Okay? All right, once you have your 4 things listed here, and they should be in complete sentences, in the second part, go ahead and make a picture of each one. Now, if I pick cheese for my one, Wisconsin is known for its cheese industry. Come get a job at making cheese, and maybe I'd put a factory that makes cheese in that picture. Or maybe I'd put some Green Bay Packer fans that have cheese heads. By the way, I never mentioned the Bucks or the Brewers or the Packers, but we have some amazing sports teams here in Wisconsin. Maybe that's one of the reasons why you might want to move to Wisconsin. All right, here's your assignment for today. List 4 things why people should move to Wisconsin, and then draw 4 pictures to go along. If you're like me and not great drawer, then go ahead and label your picture, make a little arrow and says this is a cheese head, or this is a cheese factory. All right, guys, good luck. Promote your state well.